Well, thank you very much attending for my talk, and the title is Unleashing the Secrets and who analyzes for the complex Lodeinfo version 0.7.1. Before my presentation, I would like to introduce myself and my co-authors. My name is Suguru Ishimaru from Itochu Cyber and Intelligence Inc. They are my co-authors, and Shuhei Sasada and Yusuke Niwa. They are really wanted to join us and as the co-speakers, but unfortunately they couldn't attend in this time. So I'll do my best for them too. This is today's agenda, and the first is background. Okay, we have these issues and motivations, and and it is crucial CSIRT to maintain strong analysis capabilities and to accurately assess the credibility of the information. To be honest, we conducted a deep analysis of Lodeinfo and version in 2023, and would like to share with you in here. This is the overview, and the Lodeinfo is fileless malware and monitored since 2019, and some researchers and security vendors believe that the APT10 is behind. And they are targeted to several industries in Japan, and also Lodeinfo is still very active and also developed in 2023 as well. And it is quite complex, and samples are very, very limited. According to the report, and 2 versions are disappeared in the 2022. Then we have identified even more new versions in 2023, like this. However, no new public information. In this talk, we focus on the analysis of the version 0.7.1 because it is the latest version as of July 2023. And BioSource has a sample. Then this is the infection flow, and the initial infection vector is spear phishing email, which is actually not changed, and new downloader shellcode. And the fake pen file was discovered as a new part of the infection. The next is analysis of Lodeinfo. I will break down the analysis result into 4 parts and explain each details. First is malware and VBA. The malware contains VBA code. Interestingly, the actor prepared 64-bit and 32-bit shellcode, and it checks architecture and decodes shellcode depending on the architecture. Finally, it injects shellcode in memory. Each base64 encoded shellcode is divided into multiple parts to be embedded, aiming to the evade detection. We reconstruct to the shellcode and by combining those parts and decoding it, like this. Then back to the 1 version and version 0.7.0, there is an additional language check of the Office products to targeted to the specific regions. Very interestingly, the feature was removed in the version 0.7.1. And one more interesting point is usually the file name was Japanese, but in this time they are using the English name. So from these findings, it suggests that the target regions may be changed. At least the target uses the English environment, we believe. Next is download shellcode. This download shellcode has some similarities of down IISSA reported by Kaspersky in securities.com. At the start of the shellcode, there is a patching mechanism for the decoding itself, and the patch is 1 byte XOR. Decoding the key is increment from 00 to FF. The new download shellcode contains 2 C2s with 1 byte XOR encoding again, and it downloads a fake pen file from the destinations. Then decryption is simple and 6 steps. Remove the file headers and footers, then decode base 64, then remove the first 3 bytes. After then, it generates HMAC using SHA-1 hash for the AS key using a unique hard-coded password. And this means if researcher found a fake pen file, but impossible to decrypt the payload, unfortunately. This is very important. I will talk later as well. Then it is use the AES to decrypt with the key and 1 byte extra to make the decryption, artifact. We created the very simple Python script like this, and using based on our analysis. Then if running this script, you can get the decrypted payload, which contains some interesting strings like file name and MZ and this program, blah, blah, blah. It seems to be P file is embedded in there. Next step is understanding the data structure. It was not very complicated, so making it easy to trace the shellcode and understand each hex meaning. We added some lines to the end of the decryptor Python script and mentioned before for extracting the object. If we run this code, and we can get this resample in this time, it including loader module. So next is loader module. After decryption, we confirm the C file, and lz.exe is legitimate exe, and this file is actually Digital Arts Inc., which is the security vendor of Japan. It loads flow.dl, which is malicious loader module, and using a DL side loading. The fraud.dll contains more than 40 exports. One of them is actual malicious code, but others just noise. And also, as you can see, the right side, it's decompiled code, but it's almost junk code. I colored as gray. If you remove all junk code, and this malware is very simple loader for reading the lz.exe and the back file as the below, and decode 1 byte extra operation to the shellcode. The past version from 066 to 069 are more complicated by control flow fluttering and junk code. The yellow part is control fluttering code, and gray part is junk code. So I believe that the past version are more difficult to find out the actual code. By carefully digging through the control flow fluttering and the junk code obfuscation, you can pick up the code that decrypts the payload, like this. Then, by the way, can you guess what is this decryption code? Do you have any idea? No? Come on. I know the reverse engineer is in here, this room, and I believe the SAS is top of the top security conferences. Nothing? No idea? All right, I'll show you the answer. Just 1 byte XOR. Very, very interesting to me because, you know, XOR opcode is just one line, but the attacker intentionally implemented this code instead of the one line. Not only payload, actually, various XOR decoders were implemented actually for the process name and the Windows API name and the file name and so on. Some strings as well. All right, and then the last part is loading backdoor shellcode. The malicious code and characteristics are hardly different from the public information. So including the updates, I will introduce an interesting point and characteristics in here. The first, it has a 2-byte XOR encoding for each backdoor command ID. And the keys are different in each samples too. So I believe it evasion tricks for signature matching. And also it has the 18 backdoor commands are implemented in the version 0.7.1. This is the full list of the backdoor command. And it has been reduced to the 11 command once, but 6 commands were backed, and 1 new command, run as, was implemented. Next characteristics, 2-byte XOR again, and that Lodeinfo has another 2-byte XOR obfuscation for a function of get API by hash, which is a part of generating the import address table because this is shellcode. Since the XOR key is different for each sample, and a 2-byte XOR operation is performed at the end of the hash calculation, the hash value is representing the API differs by 2 bytes for each samples. This is also the evaluating trick. And in addition, here is a small update since version 0.7.0, and the hash calculation algorithms was also changed from the version 0.6.9. Meaning the remaining 2 bytes of the hash value also differ. And next interesting point is the Lodeinfo has a unique process with data structure to refer to the encrypted C2 data. Actually, it is not changed from the past sample, and in a function get a value and calculate the offset of the unique data structure. In this sample is actually 0xd5. Then get 2 values from this structure and calculate the offset of encrypted C2 data using those values. The next is the data structure of the encrypted embedded C2 data. It's also unique, but the structure and the decryption algorithms are exactly the same with the public information. If so, we can use that kind of the information to create the simple Python script like this. And when I use this sample Python script, you can get C2 easily. Okay, the next is C2 communication. This is the most complex part of this presentation. And as you can see, it seems to be basic for strings, but this is actually the C2 communication packet. I picked up one as example, but if we analyze it, its yellow part is encrypted by visional cipher. Do you know visional cipher? Emotional. Okay, thank you. Yeah, visional cipher is one of the ancient crypto algorithms. I don't remember when, maybe 1,000, 19,000, blah, blah, blah. I don't know the when, but it's ancient one. And also red part is visional and custom base64 encoded. And then the visional key is also hard-coded in the shellcode, and the different key is hard-coded in the each samples. Green part. This is custom base64, and the payload is in 0x36 offset. Yeah. And also the payload is encoded by AES, and the key is hard-coded in the shellcode. Then, which part is most important? Of course, it's payload. If so, we don't need to care about the visional, blah, 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 and the complex things. We just focus on the green part. And also have to check the 0x36 because the payload is starting here. Then we are also creating the very simple script like this, and when I run it, we can get the payload, as you can see. Okay, then next is hunting. First of all, the infrastructure. And the trends in the attacking infrastructure have not changed. The actor prefers using AS chopper in the targeted countries. In this time is Japan, as you can see. Then, how shall we get samples? How can we hunt samples? Because the Lodeinfo sample is very limited, at least it is hardly obtainable from the open source like Total and Anyran and so on. How can you get the sample? Here is the C2 of the down IISSA in 2022, and also the new download shellcode in 2023. Try to get sample from C2, like this. If you're lucky, okay. If you're lucky, you can get some artifacts from the C2. Yeah. And in 2022, we could discover and can be decrypted. Oh, okay. Thank you, Monkey. And decrypt the artifact because algorithm is just 1 byte extra. Easy. But in 2023, I already mentioned, the actor is implemented their decryption algorithm to AES and hard-coded the key in the shellcode. That means we need also shellcode. Yeah. And also, an artifact was discovered from the non-C2, like last one. It seems to be template injection. And also, I believe a lot of researchers try to scan C2 like that way, and bad guy is set to bad word in the top of their website. Actually, it's not the website, it's in the C2, like this. And if you try to access there, you can get the, it seems to be hacker language and holy something. Yep. Okay, the conclusion. The Lodeinfo malware has undergone the updates and with the focus on the evasion and concealment. The public information and samples are quite limited, and the malware is really, really complex. The actor appears to have customized tools in preparation for the targeting other region, probably. This is a very important point. All right. Thank you very much. Happy debugging and enjoy SAS.